before we leave the arena of mergers and acquisitions, we're going to go through the panel, starting with you, Tom, see if there's anything that you want to add.
Well, the political environment is an interesting one. We have the Congress now proposing bills to allow the U.S. and U.S. companies to sue OPEC because OPEC is fixing prices. These are what I'll have to call the crazy days of the Congress and of what's going on in Washington. These are all going to be things that we're going to have to deal with, but I would suggest that at the end of the day, when we get back to an open market and allow supply and demand to work its will, then we'll have the best possible solutions to our current energy problems.
Okay, thank you. Good points. Matt Simmons, your final take.
Mergers can be a fabulous way to create a stronger company as long as there's been very careful thought about why are we merging. What do we know about the other side? What do they know about us? What do they know about our cultures? Let's not use synergy as a concept to basically justify our higher price. Let's have a merger of fair values. But there aren't that many mergers that have that happen, and so most mergers are a bad deal for the shareholders. Most mergers are a bad deal for the culture, and they're a really good deal for the investment bankers getting large fees. I'm the last person to begrudge large fees, but when there's fees with no work, it's a bad deal. And they're a great deal for the CEO who got twice as big as a company, and therefore they get twice as much pay on a concept in the compensation that the larger you are, the more you deserve to get paid.
I would add, as I earlier mentioned, that mergers are inevitable in this industry, good, bad, and ugly mergers. And what Matt was saying, I think, is very, very true. There are some real abuses that can happen, change of control provisions or clauses that make people just filthy rich. This is happening at the same time in a political arena, which Tom mentioned is only going to be, I think, increasingly polarized over the next 18 months, and also at a time when Wall Street is just throwing money at this industry. So be prepared for some interesting, maybe exotic transactions, maybe some very stupid transactions. It's been known to happen. And we'll see where the dust settles come the next 12 or 18 months.
Okay, David, your final thoughts.
I think just because of the scale of the industry and the dollars involved, you will always continue to see mergers occur in this sector to accomplish all kinds of things. That being said, a merger today does not suddenly create a new refinery in this country. There are lots of other issues from an energy policy standpoint that have to be addressed. And we were talking earlier about a security, but there are lots of issues from an energy policy standpoint that needs to be addressed that mergers and acquisitions just by themselves do not necessarily solve.
Well, I think successful mergers, you've always got to maintain your nimbleness, no matter how big you grow. I think you've got to explain to your people why bigger is better. In many cases it is, but you've got to make sure your people are in line with that. And I think you've got to look at the longer term aspects of the value and keep your eye on that horizon while you're surviving through the adjustments that all mergers have to go through in the short period.
Okay, John, bring us home.
Oh, it's such good comments from all the other panelists. I guess in looking at a merger today as a CEO, I think I'd look at all the stakeholders in it, and I would expand the horizon from just the shareholders. I think you're going to have to take a look at the consumer of the product as well, and what impact it's going to have on pricing, and ask yourself, obviously, consolidation is desired to increase pricing, but we may be at a point where that's not the right motivation for a merger in this industry. So look at the consumers, look at the employees in particular, look at the customers as well, look at the shareholders, management, all aspects of the company before going forward.
That's our show for today. Thanks to all our guests. Thank you for watching us, and be sure to join us for the 5th program in this series. That will be Meeting the Demands of Rapid Compliance. So to access this show and the others in the World Energy Leadership Series, visit worldenergysource.com. For World Energy Television, I'm Roger Smith. See you next time.